all my lovely nestlings, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to play with some new goodies from Unearthly Cosmetics. And I'm very excited for that. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm from the Netherlands, hence the accent. I'm also slightly orcish, relatively vintage. I love spooky stuff, makeup and being creative. Some things are kind of important in today's video. That means the slightly orcish, which is me being green, like my shirt.
That's because I'm green, isn't it?
I'm a light to light medium warm-ish olive, and the relatively vintage means I'm 46. I also have ADHD and I'm autistic, so I'm the complete package, as I always say, or at least I'm something, as my family says. But yeah, I actually received new releases from Unearthly Cosmetics before launch, and I'm so thankful for that, because that just doesn't happen often. Me being in the Netherlands, she is in the USA, so I get it, but I'm just so stoked that I got it early. I am going to show everything that I got. So I have 2 new palettes. There are also 5?
2, 4, 6, 7.
7 new liquid lipstick colors. I swatched everything, and in today's video I'm going to use one of the palettes, because the other palette that I have here I just want to do a multiple looks video with, because there's just so much going on there. So yeah, that's it. If you want to shop at Unearthly Cosmetics, you can use my code Nikki Raven, which is affiliated, to save 10%. However, I think that she's currently also having a sale, so I will leave her site down below, because if you can save more, I don't know if you can stack codes, I have no idea, but honestly, if you can save kind of like 30% or something, why would you use my code? You know, but you can always see if you can stack them at checkout. Okay, so what do I have here? I have 2 eyeshadow palettes. So let me start with the first one, which is called the Daily Grind, and I think it's cool. Oh, this is also cruelty-free, Leaping Bunny certified, and there are also pressed pigments in here. So basically, because it's cruelty-free, I'm then guessing also that it's probably a vegan palette as well. That basically just means that vegan dyes that are used are not tested by the FDA. And that's it. So I know that there's always on the palettes not intended for use around the immediate eye area. That's just a brand's way of saying kind of use at your own discretion, because they have not been approved by the FDA, but they have also not been found harmful by the FDA, because the FDA just didn't test them. Suffice it to say, in the EU, where I live, they have a very strict policy. Honestly, they have an extremely strict policy. The vegan dyes that are used in makeup are considered eye safe here. However, the disclaimer is, do as I say, don't do as I do. Use at your own discretion. I'm going to use them around my eyes, because I don't have any issue with pressed pigments and ingredients like this. If you however are sensitive to one of the ingredients, then don't put it on the face. If you find that you put anything on your body, on your face, in your hair, whatever, that itches or starts to burn, take it off immediately and don't use it again. It's not that difficult, at least according to me. However, let's get back to this. The color story, when I saw this color story, I was like, ooh, I like this. Now, this is actually a color story that I'm like very much in summer. I really like. But I really do like it now as well. And it swatches very well. I do have hairs on my arm, so if the swatches are a little bit... Oh no, this one I swatched on my hand. I think that the color story is fun. I think that it's fun that there's a pop of green in here. This is actually the palette that I'm going to use today, because I can try out the entire palette in this video and give you my opinion. So let's also show you the other palette that I think most people will be very excited about, and I am actually as well, which is the Dead of Night palette. This palette is designed to complement the In the Dark palette, and I will show you a comparison a little bit later, but let me first show you the palette. So this one is also cruelty-free, Leaping Bunny certified. There are also pressed pigments in here. They're bigger pans than the previous palette, the gRind palette. No, they're the same size as the In the Dark palette. But I really do like the color story of this a lot. I love that it is, again, the purple and then the teal and green, which I really enjoy as a combination. And yes, I know that there are blues in here, but I actually quite like the blues. So the shade Bedtime is a darker grayer blue, and then the shade Dead of Night, which is then the shimmer. It feels very sticky, so I'm usually shimmers like that don't crease on me, but I kind of have to build them up a little bit and make sure that my brush can pick them up, and maybe even using my finger to get them really, you know, good on my eye, but once they're there, they're not going anywhere. But I think this color store is just very, very pretty. I also compared it to as you will see in the close-up, to the In the Dark palette, and I do think that they will complement each other well. I also swatched them side by side, so you see basically the first part is the swatches of the new palette, and then the last few swatches are from the In the Dark palette, and I do think that they complement each other very, very well. This will launch on the website the 17th of November. The Dead of Night palette that I just showed you will be retailing for $40, and the Daily Grind palette will retail for $25. Oh yeah, feeling the swatching this, it feels kind of like the Shroud palette, the Halloween palette. So basically what that means is it's very pigmented, but it feels smoother. That usually means for me that they are layerable, but they're also blendable, and they probably won't go patchy quickly on me, but I will still have to try them. And I am going to do a multiple video with this, just because I just need to do a bunch of looks with this, because this palette inspires me very, very much. So that one is coming ASAP. Let's also show you the new liquid lipstick shades that or the satin liquid lipstick shades that I have here. I swatched them all, and I will show it to you now. What I really like about this range, it's a little bit orange leaning, which I really, really enjoy. So from the previous line, my favorite shade is the shade Ava, and this, I cannot wait to try them all. It's kind of like Pokemon. I want to try them all. And even the reds, I'm not really a person that wears a lot of reds, but these reds are maybe a little bit more muted. So that's kind of what I like a little bit more. And I'm going to try those as well. I don't know which one I will try today. We will have to see. But I really love her satin liquid lipstick formula. There are currently a few shades in stock, and the rest of the shades will be restocked at the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken. That's kind of everything that I have right now. I'm going to prime my eyes, and we are going to go do an eye look, and then I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. I'm going to prime with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. And the reason that I'm choosing the 9pan palette for this video is, as I said, I just want to do a multiple looks video, and I don't think that I can cram that in this one. So I do really like the quality of the In the Dark palette as well. I hope that's helpful. But we're going to do this one first. So, the Grind palette. I want to use all the shades. I don't know how though. Shall I do a green bottom? Is that fun? And a green inner corner and a green bottom. I'm going to start with the shade Grind in the crease. Kind of as a transition shade. So I have some kick up in the pen, which I actually prefer. And I'm just going to, I did tap off my brush. These are pigmented shadows, so I want to go in a little bit slower. I'm just going to kind of set my eyeshadow base. I'm going to keep this low and then tap it out a little bit up, if that makes any sense. Kind of fade it up. And then I'm going to go to the shade Zest. Clean my brush on a towel, and I'm going to blend out the layer a little bit. So I'm going to lightly place it first and then kind of blend it into each other a little. See if that works. And you can also start with this one if you want to, and then gradually go darker. I'm going to go back to the shade Grind. I'm going to re-intensify it a little, starting in the crease and then basically blending it up a little bit. Next I am going to go to the shade Hustle, which is the darkest. It gives me depth, but not enough. So I personally wish that this had been a little bit more brown and darker, deeper color. I am going to go next to the green, the shade Creation. The shadows don't seem to warp on me that much, which, me being an olive, it's nice if they don't do that. I am going to connect it up a little because I like that. So I'm just going to tap the green on top a little bit. That, okay. I am actually going to use the shade Sweet, which is the darkest shimmer in the palette. That one I'm going to use to darken up the outer corner a little bit. So let's see if we can use it as a matte. I'm probably going to create a lot of fallout, but we're going to try it anyway. So I'm just taking kind of, I don't know, a flatter brush that's a little bit more open. You actually can use shimmer shades like this as well, to basically then just use the base shade that they have. Okay, and I also want that a little bit underneath to basically connect just in the outer corner. It's shimmer time. So I'm going to go to the green first. Let's do that just for funsies. The brush is dry. Okay, other side I'm going to try my glitter primer. I'm not going to use her shimmer primer. She has one, but it's very, very close to the NYX glitter primer. And it creases, unfortunately, it creases on me a lot. So if you love the NYX glitter primer, you will love hers. Because the formula is the same. It's just not for me. So I'm also going to kind of put a little bit there in a minute. Then I'm going to go back to the shade Ambition. Just helps it stick and stay. So I'm going to go next to the shade Inspire. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted. I was hoping for that. For my upper lid, I'm going to grab my glitter primer because I always do actually. And I just have a little bit on the back of my hand. It will be linked in the description box. I use a gel primer. If you find that a glitter primer like the NYX glitter primer creases on you, try a gel primer. It changed my life at least. Then I'm going to go to the shade Motivate. It's such a stunning shade. Let's try it with a finger as well. This is also a sticky one. Ah yeah, there it is. My brush just did not, I think my brush is a little bit too dirty or something. Finger is very, very pretty. Let's also try sponge tip applicator. I think that will work very well as well. Yep, it does. Wow, this is certainly, it's almost a Christmassy look. It's turning a little bit red on me, which is fine. We'll fix it. So next I'm going to go to the shade Impulse. This is a little bit more of a topper shade. I'm actually going to fade it back a little. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the shade Inspire, which is the goldeny one, because I'm feeling a little bit too much like a Christmas tree right now. So, and it's my own fault, but I wanted to try out everything. So I think it does look pretty, but I'm going to use this a little bit as a topper to get a little bit of variety and to make it a little bit less, I don't know, Christmassy. I tried something on that eye. I have more depth and I'm going to show you how I did it. So I'm actually grabbing the shade Creation. I know, it shouldn't be possible, but it is. I'm also grabbing kind of a fluffier, flatter brush. And I'm just going to first put a little bit here. And then I'm going to just blend it over. And I don't know why, but I want to say it should turn very, very muddy, but it does not really. But it just gives me a little bit of extra depth, which I need to not look like a Christmas tree. An interesting color choice. Let's add a little bit to the inner corner. Maybe I can use the shade Impulse as a highlighter for funsies. Oh yes, I can. You can also use the shades as blushes and such. If you want a very vibrant orange blush, you can. And then here is the look so far. Let me finish it off and I'll be back and give you my thoughts on this palette. Oh yes, and also I need to choose a lippy. Everything is on and I do really like how the look turned out. I also really, really love the lippy. So the lippy that I ended up picking, I actually grabbed two. I grabbed the shade Giana, which is almost like this color. It's very, very flattering on me. And then I tapped a little bit of ombre with the shade Olivia, which is the lightest one, and I think that they complement the look very well. I also could have gone for a darker ombre lip, and I love to do ombre lips with her Satin Liquid Lipstick formulas. If you haven't tried them, they're very comfortable on the lips. They don't completely dry down, but they do stay for a very long time, and I think that it complements the look very well, and I did not feel like putting on a different shirt. So I just grabbed one of my scarves that actually goes very well with the look, and I do think it's less Christmassy now than I thought in the beginning. Let me go over what my opinions are on this palette. So performance wise, I really, really like it. I think that the shadows all performed very, very well. The mattes were nice and pigmented. They still blended, and I was actually pleasantly surprised in the fact that I kind of could do this. Now I did not really blend them, so I think that is it. So basically this was already on, and then I basically swiped the green over instead of really blending them into each other, and that way I could create a little bit of depth, because that is what I'm missing in this palette. For me personally, I wish that the shade Hustle was a darker brown, and I have said this often actually, that I'm missing a little bit of that, but again, it's personal preference. Now the look that I have right now, even though I really do like how it turned out, it's not a look that I would do when I grab this palette, because when I grab this palette I will probably maybe I will skip this one entirely and just go straight here, or you know, do this basically, or grab the green and then a darker shade. And again, for me it would be a perfect standalone palette if we had a darker brown in here. That's me. Not a black, but just a darker color that I can get the depth that I want. I could get it right now, but it's just easier if you already have it. And I also think that these two are pretty close together, at least for me on my eyes. Me being a warmer olive, it kind of tends to warp shades a little bit and other things pop. So because I am green, orange pops because they're opposite the color wheel, right? So for me, this really does work because it's still an orange, but it's still a little bit muted, and that works for me. If you're a cool toned olive though, I think it will be too warm for you, the oranges in this. But maybe I am very much mistaken, so let me know. The performance of the mattes were very, very nice. So basically we have this one, which is a topper that I also used as a highlighter, and is very pretty, and it has a clear base. This one, the shade Inspire, has more, I almost want to say, it's not really a rose gold. Maybe an orangey gold, if that makes any sense. I think that the shade Sweet is also very, very cute. And I think that complements the palette. Yeah, overall, I'm very, very happy with the performance. It's a color story that really makes me happy. I just wish that we had a deepening up shade in here. But again, that is personal preference. Performance-wise, I very much love her. Very, very much so. And I think that the look that I did with this is very, very cute, and I will enjoy wearing this. The lippy shades also, I love that she's going a little bit orangey. I love that personally. Very, very much. Now the next video that I'm planning is me doing a multiple looks video with, with this one. I just need to play with this more. I feel there's so much going on in this palette that I really want to create more looks, and I can already see looks, and that is that's my criteria. Am I going to do a multiple looks video or not? So the gRind palette, I can see a few color combinations, but they're the generic ones, if that makes any sense at all. So I think more what most people will do. With this, I can see very, very interesting combinations forming. So I am going to do a multiple looks video with this, and it is coming as soon as I can manage that on my channel. And then, yeah, that is kind of going to be it for me today. Let me know if you are excited about the new releases. If you are still here, I would love it if you would hit that big red button underneath the video and subscribe to my channel, because we are just the bestest here on the internet. And yeah, especially if you want to see my multiple looks video with that one. And yeah, I think the lippies I can recommend anyway. I love her liquid lipstick or her satin lipstick formula. It is one of my favorites. And I hope that's helpful. And that was then it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. I am going to wish you a fantastic day, a fabulous evening. May your foundation always match your neck, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye guys.